The incomplete histogram and table gives some information about the distances some teachers travel to school. Remember, they said the histogram and the table are incomplete. So part A says use the information in the histogram to complete the frequency table. So we need to complete the frequency table. Looking at part B, it says use the information in the table to complete the histogram. So let's look at this. I've reformatted this question, so when you see the question on paper, it doesn't look exactly laid out in this format, but you should still be able to do it. We just want to try to do it in as an efficient way as possible. So one of the key facts that you need to know is that frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. However you remember that, you need to make sure you know that fact. Okay, so in a histogram, you've got frequency density. The table here, we need to work out the frequency densities. The first thing we need to work out is the class widths. The class widths is the size of each of these groups. Basically, the upper end take away the lower end. So the class widths, let's identify them first of all. The first group is 5 take away 0 is 5, 10 take away 5 is 5, 20 take away 10 is 10, 40 take away 20 is 20, and 60 take away 40 is 20. So those are all the class widths, right? Pretty straightforward. Remember, I said frequency density is frequency divided by class width. So 15 divided by 5 would give me the frequency density of the first group. 15 divided by 5, and I always write them down there. 15 divided by 5 is, we'll work it out in a second, 20 divided by 5, and 10 divided by, well, I don't know what this value is, but I'll be dividing by 10. This value here, whatever it is, the frequency value, I'll divide by 20, and then the last one is going to be 10 divided by 20. Let's write down the frequency densities. 15 divided by 5 is 3, 20 divided by 5 is 4, and I don't know what these other two are, but 10 divided by 20 is 0.5. Now the reason I've worked out these frequency densities is because I have some information in the graph already. What I know is the first group, the first bar here represents the first group, 0 to 5, right? And it goes up to this point here. These are the frequency densities, and I know the frequency density of this bar here is 3. And looking at it, right, I could see these big blocks, 1, 2, 3, yeah? But I have another frequency density as well that I could use, that 4, right? That tells me that the second group, 5 to 10, its frequency density is 4, and that's just confirmed to me that I am right. The scale goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I could use this to just confirm what I know, but also to work out the frequency densities for the other two missing groups. So the next group, right, its frequency density is 2.5. You could see this from 10 to 20. Its frequency density is 2.5, and so I've written that in here, right? And this next group down here, its frequency density is, be careful reading the scale, goes up to 1. Every tiny square is going to stand for 0.1. So up to here, it's going to be 0.8. And I've just written that in here. So you need to use a combination of the graph and this table. I need to work backwards to work out the frequencies, because remember the question says complete the frequency table. So it's the frequency table that I need to finish off. Something divided by 10 is equal to 2.5. So I need to do 2.5 times 10. That's going to be 25. And then just check it. 25 divided by 10, yep, it is 2.5. Something divided by 20 is going to be 0.8. So I just basically need to times those two together. 20 times 8 is 160, and then put one decimal place in there. That's going to give me 16. Now this is a non-calculator paper, so you need to be comfortable with multiplications like this. Right, so if we think about this, 16 divided by 20 is the same as 8 divided by 10, which is 0.8. Okay, you need to be comfortable with this style of mathematics. So there's your answer to part A. 25 and 16 completes the frequency table. Now we need to complete the histogram using the information in the table. And if I look at the histogram, I have 0 to 5. I have the first bar in there. 5 to 10, I have the second bar in here as well, and it is all here. The third bar, 10 to 20, right, so 10 to 20, it's in here and it goes up to 2.5, and I've got that information. The fourth bar is 20 to 40, and here it is, 20 to 40, and it goes up to 0.8, and let's just check that. Yep, it goes up to 0.8. And then the final bar is 40 to 60, and that's the one that's missing. And its frequency density, remember that's what you put in a histogram, is 0.5. So I need to go 5 tiny squares up from 40 to 60, and there it is. I'll draw that in. You don't need to shade it. Make sure you've actually indicated it clearly, and there's my answer to this question. This is a pretty straightforward question and very, very common in the exam. You need to make sure you're comfortable with histograms, and this is going some way to helping you understand all you need to know about histograms.